how much would we expect to get if we get the grant, and then also just like are you guys planning on doing more maybe like focus groups, like maybe focus group questions?
I don't think so.
No, we
I
just
don't
really
think
don't
so.
have the time.
Okay.
Because we need to really need to get all of our stuff turned in. So if you want to just talk, we just talk. Are you recording right now?
No, but let me
Oh, okay.
record. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let me, okay, hold
I'm
on.
rolling.
Okay.
All right,
Oh,
cool. Go ahead.
Andres
So
is
we'll,
rolling.
So anyway, here.
Okay, we're
thank you,
here
sir. Appreciate
at
it.
we're here with Communications Lab, right? And
Diego Teran and Martin McIntosh.
yes, so
And today is
Diego.
our fifth input community event in the city of San Bernardino with the Seccombe Lake
Yeah.
Park project.
Yes.
So yes, we're all ears.
Okay. So we are here and we're just wondering, okay, so how will the data that you guys are going to be gathering, how is this going to be utilized for the grant? And are you guys applying to the grant? Is it a state grant? Is it a federal grant? Who will be giving us the grant?
That's a very good question. It is a state grant and it's funded by Proposition 68. So the city of San Bernardino through parks, it's applying for the maximum amount that you can get. In this case, that's $8.5 million. The process is long, of course. We're turning in all our data to another subconsultant who is writing the grant. That group is called Blaze and Associates. So they're going to gather all the input that people like you and other people have given. We're going to report that to them. They are going to use it to write the grant, and then the city will apply for that grant to the state.
What has your guys' data collection process been like thus far?
As far as numbers,
As far as how you've collected the data?
well, it's people like you, Andres, who came to one of the events. So we have these two-sided surveys. We have them in English, like you did. We also have them in Spanish. The population prefers to speak Spanish. What's important here is that we're asking for their top 5 features or amenities. And that will tabulate and report that to the other subconsultants, and they are going to report that to the city.
And then, as Diego said, this is our fifth of 5 community input events. And so, what we did with the time frame that we had was we wanted to get in front of people, and as we all know, it's hard to get in front of people to get information. So we find that the best way to do that is to go where the people are. So we really scoured and tried to find some community events where things were happening. So we knew there was a story time at the library. So people are there, we can take 3 minutes of their time instead of trying to get them to come out for a specific event, something different. People are busy, so we need to go where they're at. And so that's our whole philosophy.
What have the challenges been thus far collecting the data and figuring out what the community actually wants?
Just it was trying to get everything done. We had a really compressed time frame and when we had to get these in because the grant needs to be turned in at the end of the month.
Okay.
And so we're a component of that grant writing process, and it's got to be in the front end of it. So people are sitting there waiting for this data so they can go through. So we're going to compile the data. So we've taken all of the surveys. So before today, we've got 147 surveys that we've received throughout our other 4 community events. And so we're taking it and we've got another colleague back at the office typing everything in that everybody's asked, so that way then we can come up with some graphs on what people want. That gets turned into the grant writing team and to Jim. They can sit there and really write and focus what they're going to ask for, and then that goes up to the state. So
When you said it was
Andres,
a
let
long
me
process?
add another challenge to your question.
Oh, go ahead.
We want this to represent you guys, to represent the population of San Bernardino. So there's several demographics in it, and I think in that area we've been successful. If you look at where we had the events, the first one was at the Central Library. The second one was at a community center. So if you look at their populations, community center, a lot of young people. Then our third event was at the senior center. There was a senior dance there, so different population as you might expect. And when we saw you last time, Miriam, we were at Coffee with a Cup, also a different kind of population. I would say skewing more adults. And today, we're in the park, so ideally we'd like to see that diversity here. And so far, I think we've seen it. We've seen people who frequent the park. We've seen people of your young group, and I think that's another of the big challenges. Representing you guys, your city, people who will use the park.
When you said how much was the fund? Like you said, 8.5.
Yes, the city will apply for the maximum amount, which is $8.5 million.
And you said it'll take a long time. As far as, what do you mean by long time? What exactly does that entail? Like, is that
we have a detailed schedule for that.
a timeline, yeah.
A timeline, thank you. So I think by the end of the month, all this data is reported. The city will ask for the grant officially, and then in August things start moving. But the moment when we hear from the state, I think it will be end of the year or early next year. So if you look at when will be a decision, it will be probably the earliest December.
So as far as like actual movement and action that's to be taken, it'll be a timeline of say like 1 year, 2 years, when things can be.
And you're thinking, when will you see a shovel here and stuff
Yeah,
like that?
exactly.
I think it's about 2 years. I think 2022 you'll see the changes, granting that the grant is
given.
accepted, is given. No pun intended.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. So just also Communications Lab, you guys did say it's a Redlands, right? You guys are in Redlands, but you guys are focusing in San Bernardino at the moment, right? No?
No, so we are a minority business-owned communications company from Orange, California.
Oh, okay.
And we do work all throughout Southern California, all through the Southland, and so we do have other projects in San Bernardino and Redlands, in Jurupa Valley, and just all around. So we keep busy.
And experienced in doing similar things to what you guys are
Different
doing right
community
now.
outreach events on all aspects. So we do a lot of things with infrastructure. So we do a lot of things with water and transportation.
Okay.
So, and utilities. So
Is this one of the first park projects that you guys have taken on as a company? Yes.
yeah. So this is the firm that we're sub-consultant to, the one that's writing the contract. We've worked with them several times. So it's Blaze. Writing the grant is Blaze and Associates, and that's all they do is write grants. And we've worked with them on other projects in the past, but this just happens to be the first park project. So, but the situations are somewhat similar, what they're doing.
So far, how have you guys felt in San Bernardino gathering the information with the community? Have you guys felt like the community has been responsive?
Yes, and I go back to your group. I love to see young people involved in the community. Going back to the diversity, we talk to a lot of seniors, to a lot of Hispanics, to a lot of African Americans, young people at the community center. And yes, people are concerned. They want to see a better park, and I think that's very encouraging. So I thank you for promoting that effort, but I also see a lot of involvement and a lot of pride in the city and the park and the community.